doing? It's Jackie and welcome to my kitchen. Guess what? Today I'm going to be showing you a recipe on how to make some delicious shrimp and grits. That's right. Oh man, I just can't wait to show you. Come on with me and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make this dish. Hey, so let's go ahead and get started with this wonderful shrimp and grits recipe that I have for you today. I want to share with you the ingredients that I'm going to be using to make this wonderful dish. So here we have our spices that I'm using. I use some Old Bay, some garlic, a little bit of onion powder. Then we have black pepper, salt, and I also have included in here some smoked paprika as well. So we have butter, we have flour. This is unbleached flour. I just like, using that product, and it's an AP flour. Then of course we have these quick grits, and the grits that I'm going to be making are going to be based upon the instructions that are actually on the box here. So that's how I'm making those. Then I have avocado oil. I mean, you can use olive oil if you want to. You can use the butter. It's up to you. Then I have vegetable broth. You can use that. You can use chicken broth, or if you just want to use plain water and get it flavored up. So here we have our aromatics. I have some fresh garlic. There's about 2 garlic cloves, about a quarter size of an onion here chopped up. And then I have some smoked turkey sausage, and of course the main ingredient here along with the grits is going to be the shrimp. Now the shrimp, I have already cleaned it, and I have gone through and removed all of the as you can see here. Let me just bring it a little closer. So here, this is more of like, they consider that the digestive tract. So all of that's been removed. So these are nice and clean and ready to go. So my water is boiling. I'm going to get my grits started here. And it's one thing about grits, when you cook them, you have to continuously stir them. So we're going to give them a good stir to get them started. I'm going to turn my burner down just a little to about maybe a medium range, and I'm going to let it boil just for a minute before I put the top on. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. And then next, as we go over here, what I like to do is go ahead and get started on cooking my smoked sausage. I have that pre-cooked. And I'm also going to pre-cook my shrimp as well. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to these grits. They're bubbling up really nice. Just mix that in. It's like a dash of salt. And what I'm going to do later is I'm going to taste it to make sure that I have the right consistency. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the temperature, put it down low. I'm going to put a top on it and let this continue to cook on my grits, and I'm going to be checking on it periodically and also keeping it stirred so they don't clump together and so it doesn't get burned on the bottom of the pan. You don't want that to happen. Alright, so over here I have my burner going. I'm going to add a little bit of my avocado oil, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cook the smoked sausages. While that's cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get my shrimp prepared, and I'm going to get it seasoned. So give a nice liberal seasoning, get it mixed up. And I'm going to let that sit, and of course now I have to change my glove because I touched the shrimp. And let me work this sausage. This is just about done. When this is finished, I'm going to put the shrimp in. Now this is finished, so I'm going to return this pan up. And now I'm going to add my shrimp. There you go. I'm not going to cook my shrimp all the way. I'm just going to cook it partially, because when I add it into the gravy that I'm making, it will finish cooking. So it's going to just cook part of the way. All right, these shrimp are cooking up pretty nice, pretty fast. Just turn them over. Now while these are cooking, let me go back to these grits, because it's time to give them a good stir. Okay. Those are looking pretty good. And my shrimp are just about there. And as you can see, they're not all the way done, they're just partially. So I'm going to take these out and return them to the bowl. We are going to start what I call my roux. And this is going to be the beginning stages of the gravy that we're going to be using. That's when I use the vegetable broth, or again, I said, you can go ahead and use that chicken broth for this as well. But let me go ahead and I'm going to get my aromatics cooking first. Put in a little bit of this avocado oil. I'm putting in a liberal amount of onions. I'm going to let this cook for a minute, and then once those onions are partially cooked, and how you know that they're at that stage, they're going to have like a translucent type of look to them. So let's give these a minute or so to get going. Good cooking is something that you don't want to rush. All right, now I'm at a stage where I will go ahead and add my garlic. These are my garlic cloves. I mean, you can use garlic powder if you want, but I like using fresh onion and I like using fresh garlic in my cooking. Now's a good time for me to go back and check on these grits. And as you can see, they're looking pretty good, if I must say so myself. Okay, now we switch back over here, and I'm going to add some flour. And this is going to help make my roux, which is going to start my gravy. So you can kind of see the amount that I'm adding. I will post the recipe that I use. So I'm going to add just a little bit more oil and a little bit more flour. And if you don't want to use, again, avocado, I just use avocado oil because I like it. You can use olive oil, you can use butter, you can use vegetable oil. I mean, that's to your liking. Okay, and as you see, this is kind of, we're going to keep on working this. When you are working and doing a roux, in a sense, you want to keep movement in the pot because you don't want it to burn. It is going to turn a little darker. That's normal because that's how you get the coloring of your gravy. So as you can see, our aromatics are mixed in here, the onion and the garlic, and everything is looking good. I'm going to continue to kind of work this, and it's probably going to take about another minute or so until I get it to the color consistency that I'm looking for. Also, you want to kind of make sure that that flour has been cooked down, because you don't want a floury type taste in your gravy. Let me switch back over to my grits. And these are quick grits. I mean, you can buy, there are different types of grits you can buy. You can buy the kind that will take about 20 minutes or so. And they are starting to look good, nice and creamy. So as you can see, this has gotten a little darker. The longer you let it go, of course, the darker it will, become, and it depends upon how you want your gravy to look. Also, just keep in mind to keep things moving, because you don't want it to burn, and you don't want a high heat on it either. So it's like slow and low is the best way to go with this. You know, again, I'm adding some vegetable oil in here. And I just added maybe about a cup. And as you can see, it's starting to thicken up, and that's because of the roux. And I'm liking the color. I'm going to add some more. Probably about another cup. And you could take it to whatever, you know, your consistency as far as what you want, how you want your gravy to be for the shrimp and grits. And as you can see, you know, shrimp and grits, they're easy to, it's, you know, it's not a hard dish to make. Shrimp and grits have been around for a long time. I believe it was back in 1950 is when it first appeared in a cookbook, and it was there in Charleston. This is a particular dish, is a staple of the Low Country southern area, South Carolina, Georgia, where we talk about the Gullah people. And you know, it does have some roots coming over from West Africa. A lot of the recipes from the Gullah people have their roots on West, you know, from West Africa, and this is one of the prime ones here. So this is a very popular dish. You can go into restaurants now, and you don't necessarily get this just for breakfast, but I mean, you can go in and you can order this for dinner as well. So now that it's gotten to a good consistency, I'm going to add in, I just added in my smoked sausage. Now again, you know, I have my onions in here. I chop them up pretty fine because that's the way I like to do my dish. But you can use onion powder, you can use garlic powder. You don't have to do it this way. We're going to go right back over to these grits. So what I'm going to do is, of course, you as the cook, you know, you got to taste your food. So, and you know, you got to make sure this stuff is seasoned properly. Okay, it's pretty good. I am going to add some butter though. So this is about a tablespoon that I'm adding in for just a little flavor. I'm going to add just a little dash of salt. All right, let's move back over here. So now we're going to add our shrimp. We're going to let it cook for a minute, because remember, I didn't cook the shrimp all the way because I wanted to finish cooking them in the gravy. I wish you were here, but you know, if you follow the recipe, you'll be able to experience what I am experiencing right now. So let me taste this. Now, you know, my gravy is pretty thick. You don't have to have yours as thick as mine. Just add a little bit more liquid to it. So here we go. That is so good. I had to give another lick on that one. So we are pretty much done. All right, so I'm going to plate it. Let's turn the burners off. No need to have those going. So we got our grits going. Man, those are so creamy. And then of course, the main part, the main staple of the dish. All right, so we have. Look at that. Wow. I'm just gonna put half of that in. Okay, so I'm gonna take this up a notch, okay? Make it just a little spicy. So I'm adding in some red pepper. So this is gonna be spicy shrimp and grits. For those of us who like the heat, You can add that or just leave it as is. Now, of course, I have to taste this for you. Since you're not here to taste it yourself, okay? I'll do it for you. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. I hope I don't have any food around my mouth, but oh my gosh. I mean, this is so good. Not because I made it, but I mean, it just tastes so good. So here you have it. Spicy shrimp and grits. This is a dish that's not, so hard to make, and you're going to add it to your repertoire of recipes. Thank you so much for tuning into my shrimp and grits video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I have more videos out there. I would love for you to go and take a look at those. God bless you, and thank you again.